We are here to talk about scaffolding, new block in Minecraft, hyped at Minecon Earth 2018. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, scaffolding has been added into the snapshots on Java Edition. If you've been playing on Bedrock with the experimental builds, you've had scaffolding for a little while, but now we have it on the Java Edition. This will be coming to Minecraft actually pretty soon because at Minecon Earth, they said that there was a few blocks that would be coming before the holidays. So we're only, a month, 2 months away from that time. So hopefully this will be added to the game relatively soon. So let me tell you everything there is to know about scaffolding. As much as this cat is cute, we gotta turn on the green screen. Goodbye, kitty. So here we are inside of Minecraft, and I decided that we'd talk about scaffolding in the jungles because the main ingredient is right here, bamboo. So if you want to make your own scaffolding, head out into the world and find some bamboo. Then in a crafting table, take at least 6 and put it along the sides with 1 piece of string, and then you'll get 6 scaffolding from that recipe. So pretty good amount of scaffolding, which means that if you have a stack of bamboo, you will also create a stack of scaffolding as long as you have, divisible, 64 is not divisible by 6. But anyway, you'll get basically all of the bamboo that you have in scaffolding as well, which is pretty cool. Here is what it looks like in the world. Here's what it sounds like. That sounds pretty good. There we go. And the idea behind scaffolding, if you were wondering, is that you can place this down around your build and use it as you build way easier than you can dirt. And one of the huge features is that you step into the middle of it. It has no hitbox, so you can just walk right on up into it and hold down space, and you will magically levitate through the scaffolding. Like this is like a pure magic trick or something like that. Once again, this is what it looks like, is you just hold down space and you just kind of go, well, if you're on the edge, it looks like you jump, but if you're in the middle, then there you go. Now you levitate through it. It's a little bit hard to see in F5. But that is true, is if you hold down space, you do this jump thing, which is kind of interesting. But if you're in the middle, you just float through it, which is also kind of interesting. Okay, so another really cool thing is that you can continue to place scaffolding even if you are nowhere near the block that you are placing it on. Let me explain. If you look at, so I'm sitting here looking at this block right here, and I click to place a bit of scaffolding, it will place it on top of the structure. So once again, I'm going to look at that block right there, and you can see that it continues to go up. And if I put in super Quake Pro mode, let's just go ahead and destroy all that, and we'll just see how high up we can go. And I'll give you a hint. It's all the way to build limit. So you can continue to just place scaffolding over and over and over again, even if you're nowhere near the top of the scaffolding, which is incredible. As you kind of saw, if I break any part of the scaffolding, it will break all the way up, instantly destroying the scaffolding and allowing it to fall to the ground. Once you have your tower of scaffolding, however high you want it to be, well, now you can add little scaffolding bits. I don't want that lower one. Get out of here. You can put them on the side. Interesting is that this little bottom bit is not there whenever it's on the ground. So you can kind of see that there's no structure there, but when you place it, it adds a little cool structure underneath. Now, these can be placed only 4 out. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4. This 5th one, when you place it, will fall to the ground. Now, if you happen to be standing on top of the scaffolding, remember, if you're standing in a tower and you hold down shift, you go back down through. But if you're standing on something that doesn't have any structure below it, you can hold down shift and you won't fall through. So it is like a solid block, but you can continue to place until you get over here and make a new pillar, and then you can continue on. Whoa, which is it's a little bit difficult because once you are on the edge, you can't really, hold shift. Otherwise, you just fall. So you gotta make sure that you're not holding shift when you're inside of that tower, but then you can continue to place scaffolding along. Now, what that limit of 4 means is that most scaffolding structures will look similar to this, is that you'll go 4 out, you'll need to create a new pillar, and you'll pillar down or something like this, which kind of creates a look of what normal scaffolding in the world looks like, because you'll need to support the scaffolding. Now, the best sort of situation that you can kind of hope for, if for some reason you absolutely hate these so close to each other, is you can pull it off, but you have to like kind of worry about it before, is you can have up to 8 spaces as long as you build your towers separately. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that is frustrating. There you go. So that is what that would look like. And that is because this tower and this tower are both supporting all the way over here, but you can't like place another one. Also, if you think, oh, you know what, I can get really cheeky with how I build scaffolding. Okay, you can only go 4 out from a tower, like so. So here we're gonna go, that's the 4th one, this one will fall. Well, what if I create another tower and now I go? Well, no, the game is smart enough to realize that. You can actually see that in the F3 menu whenever you look at one of these. This is part of a tower, so it says scaffolding distance is 0 because it's part of the tower. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you build up, it will stay at a distance of 4. If you place one on the side, it will say distance of 5 before it falls down to the ground. So the game is smarter than you are. But I have a college education. So does the game. Some cool features of scaffolding is that it can work in the water, and in fact, it'll even work if it falls into the water from a height. So if you're over here trying to build, water is no issue because it just places it in the water, which is really nice because it would really stink if you were like trying to build over water and it just kept breaking or something like that. So it does do that. It lives inside of water just fine. You can waterlog it as well. So you happen to have a water bucket and you just splash it right on there. There you go. Now it is waterlogged. Scaffolding will catch fire eventually, and as you can see, that was a pretty unfortunate tower to catch on fire because it destroyed the entire tower up. So if you build near lava or happen to have lava in your build that may catch scaffolding on fire, you may want to avoid that to make sure that your scaffolding doesn't catch fire. One final thing to note is that you can kind of trick scaffolding if you want to be really cheeky about it. As you get out here and you hit your limit, you could place down a solid block, then place down a solid the scaffolding on top, and that will act as a new tower so you can continue to move on. And there we go. This will be right there, the last one before it starts to fall. So you can place another solid block and then move on from there. Now, it does not work to stick onto the side. You do need to create one underneath, and it will not. You have to create a new pillar basically on top of a solid block. But I kind of feel like this defeats the purpose, because one of the cool things about scaffolding is once you have these, these huge towers built up, in order to remove it, you just remove the bottom block and then everything falls down, and then you remove the next bottom block and everything will fall down. So I would consider, if I was building with scaffolding, I would stick with how scaffolding naturally works so that you can easily remove your scaffolding towers whenever you're building. Now, a little bit of criticism. I wish that the scaffolding had a hitbox, that it that you weren't able to walk through it, and that you could just walk up the side of the scaffolding as if it was a ladder, because I really dislike the fact that you cannot get to the side of scaffolding. You have to just like guess. You can't hold down shift to make sure that you don't fall off the edge of the scaffolding, which really kind of frustrates me, that you need to make sure to barely hit that, because if I was way up in the air, so you're way up here at the super highest point, and you have to just, you can't hold shift to get to the side of this block. You have to be super duper touchy and then finally put one, as long as there's no support now, you can hold shift. I mean, that is just like a really scary thing to do. And I don't like it. I'll be honest. So I wish that you could hold shift even over here on the pillar. Another interesting thing is if you hold shift on the edge. So the edge and the middle work differently, like I kind of showed before. If you're on the edge, you sort of hop up, and then if you're in the middle, you glide up like this. But also, if you're on the edge, when you hold down shift, you fall. You just fall down. So if I stop holding shift, I die. So if you accidentally hold shift on the edge, instead of gliding down in survival, you fall down in survival, which is a little bit terrifying. So if the sides of the scaffolding just worked like ladders, that would solve all of these issues. And there you go. Now you know everything there is to know about scaffolding. Did you learn something new? Did you learn something you didn't know before? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, make sure that you like this video if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMGcraft. See you next time. Bye. Scaffolding has been added into the Java edition of Bedrock. If you've been playing on the experimental builds on the, sorry, I said Bedrock. I meant to say, wait, Java. Oh my gosh.